Good morning, afternoon, evening, friends and family, loved ones. This is your friend Kelly, and this is more an asking you questions video. As you can see, I got a small piles, not just a pile, but I got piles of different zipper pulls or lanyards. They can be used as either or, bracelets, keychains, and of course more zipper pulls that I've actually trimmed and now I'm working on singeing and smushing. But I want to ask you, since a lot of you have gotten my items and have gotten different things, and I'm sure you've seen a lot of different stuff out there available to buy and whatnot. What do you prefer yourself personally? Do you like the zipper pulls slash lanyards? Like I said, they could be used as either or, as a snake knot, which is what this is right here. This is my go-to knot that I prefer to do on my lanyards. Now, I still have to tighten these down. Finish it, like if I do a bead, especially if I do a bead, then I'll do a, a knot on the end, see, like this. But I preferred the diamond knot to finish it off because a lot of times the snake knots will come undone over time, and these won't, or they shouldn't anyway. But anyway, now that I squirreled, but for zipper pull slash keychain, lanyards, do you prefer the snake knot? Do you like that? Would you like this? And the reason you'll see they're all of these, and I've got a bunch more still over there that I ended up doing strictly on this variant was of paracord, is because I only buy American made paracord #1, but this particular pattern, and it's a marbles also, but it is supposedly USA made blade. It's thicker, and I always forget it when I go to cut this particular pattern to do it, that I need to add a couple extra inches onto the length when I cut them to be able to do my normal 5 knots that I do for my zipper pulls. I could have made them with 4 knots instead, but I every now and then I'll do them for 4 knots, but I try to stay consistent and do 5 knots on all of them because I think that's a good number to usually finish them at. But since I didn't really have the length to do the 5 knots, I just some of made them with the diamond knot, which these work great too for zipper pulls to be able to grab. Gives you a little bit more of a bigger size knot to grab and pull if you need it. There's that. Then there's the cobra knot, which is the flat one, which I usually do for like my handles on my monkey's fist, because I think if you have it dangling out of your pocket on the monkey's fist with your keys and stuff, I think part of the handle coming out being flatter instead of round, it doesn't take up as much room, so it's not as obvious. There, you may not understand, but usually I do have a method to my madness as to why I do some of the stuff I do. What I think, don't have to agree, but then again, some people like this, and I've actually done monkey's fist with the DNA strand or helix pattern. So it's whatever you prefer. I mean, there's differences, but the cobra knot for zipper pulls and or lanyards. Do you like this knot instead? Of course, it would be cut, singed, and smushed, trimmed, and whatever. Where the my ears there would not be on there. And do people, I mean, I see quite a few people actually wearing these bracelets, whether they're mine or if they're faithful EDCs or if they picked them up from somebody else. I don't care. But do you like these? What they call a friendship bracelet. I call them a simple slide knot bracelet. You know, these to me they're relatively quick and easy for me to make and include in. Is that something that you guys do like? Or am I wasting my time adding these to my gift packages and more, you guys would prefer more of the zipper pulls per se? Just I'm looking for feedback, people. Now, like this, we'll talk the keychains. Normally, I do these two. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Let me pause you, and I'm going to go get something else. Okay, I'm back. I know you guys see the basic stuff that I do. Now, I also do these keychains, and this is breast cancer awareness paracord that I do in the ribbon. I also do, and purple, I don't know if you realize, purple is just cancer awareness. You know, I have a lot of different paracords. I usually the ones that have like yellow and black, or I think they may consider it kind of gold, but yellow usually takes the place of gold. But for childhood cancer and awareness and whatever, it's but I have a lot of different patterns if you prefer. I've made um one that wasn't necessarily for it was he wanted one because of course with cancer, but he wanted it in his colors. So it didn't really correlate with what type of cancer he had, but it was something that he liked and he wanted a ribbon with that. So I made it for that. So I mean, if you just like the ribbon keychain, I make those. I mean, which is like a box knot, which is what this is. And see this one, as you can tell, it's real small and tight. This is still 550 paracord. And this one, these are a lot more work. This is why you don't normally see them popping up into my gift packages, because these are more work and time consuming. But I take out the inner strands, and it's just the outer sheath is what I use on making this, because I think the the tighter weave, the way it looks, I think looks better. And believe it or not, this is the same pattern that's on this, just of course done a little differently, but it's the same knot. So see how much thicker that appears to this? That's just because of the inner strands. But, you know, I do that. You guys have seen my little mini monkey's fist, and this is the cobra knot, like I mentioned, that is for this. So here's a helix that I did one of my resin pour skulls, keychains that I sell. You know, I do that. And you guys, I don't know if you know, I also, like I said, I do a lot of stuff that you guys don't necessarily see. This is a little beglary. I have trouble saying it, and I can't do it. I'm just letting you know, but it's one of those things that, you know, you're supposed to be able to dexterity to do it around your fingers, and I'm not good at it, but it's to help with that. And this one has 2 half-inch balls on either side. If you want something like this, I make these also, just to let you know. There's I make all kinds of stuff. I can't show you everything that I make, and usually if you reach out to me and it's something you want, just do it. But these, I could make these, as a friend told me this morning. He goes, "You should make one that's like 12 to 18 inches long with the bigger balls, like the 1 inch balls, so that way people can throw them to wrap up around the ankles." And I was like, I said, I'm not even allowed to sell the monkey's fist on eBay and Etsy. Can you imagine me trying to sell something like that? But, and it's true though. I forget what they call those, but you know, where you can throw them and wrap around. But these, if you're good and able to do, you know, the different deals, that's what this is for finger dexterity. So, or just fidget factor, if you wanted to do that. I make those. I make all kinds of stuff. But anyway, now that I've squirreled again, just so you know, there is a lot of other stuff. I don't just make zipper pulls. I don't just make monkey's fists. I don't just make keychains. I do other stuff. It's just for the EDC community. A lot of times this stuff comes in handy and it's awesome. And people always need keychains and it's something different. Also, question. I know there's a lot of questions in this video. Do you prefer the flat keychain that doesn't quite take up as much room? Do you prefer the helix pattern / DNA pattern? I mean, I made, honestly, I cut enough paracord. I don't know how many patterns I actually took up with me to Ohio, but I cut 10 hanks of to be able to do 10 keychains in every pattern that I took up with me. I think a couple of them I may have taken 11. I think I cut an extra one on a couple of them. But on those, what I did is I did 7, since the helix pattern, DNA pattern, whichever you want to call it, seems to be very popular. I did like 7 of them in this pattern. And I did like 3 in this pattern. To me, it's technically it's the same knot, just done differently. So it doesn't matter which one it is, but it's one of those things. Which do you prefer? Do you think me doing a mix of like almost 3-to-1 type deal, or 2-to-1, 3-to-1, somewhere thereabouts, and giving more of the helix and DNA pattern would be good? I'm looking for some feedback and some ideas. Is there anything paracord wise you'd like me to make to add to the paracord packages? Because I can honestly tell you on the, where did I put it? There. On the bigger monkey's fist, my big ones, not the small keychain size ones that because you figured that's basically what these are. They're a keychain. But on my bigger 1-inch ball paracord monkey's fist, I'm downsizing how many I'm putting out there. The balls for those have, just to give you an idea, the balls for those have increased, like quadrupled in price in the last year, and it's hitting my pocketbook big time. I don't mind. I enjoy making the items and giving them to the community for the different YouTubers to give away in their giveaways, and gives them a little bit something to add if they want to do a giveaway but they can't necessarily afford to buy a bunch of different stuff. But I also do sell packages on Instagram, and if there's something that, say you want a package of like 50 bracelets because you love the bracelets to give away and you want specific color, get with me. I can look through what colors I have and see if that's the colors that you want. I can order special paracord colors for you, just for you. And if you want to say, hey, every 3 months I'll probably buy 50 more or whatever, get with me. I can order a 1,000-foot roll of it if it's available and just keep it aside just strictly for you to have. I've done that for somebody else. But anyway, yes, I'm squirreling big time. I want some feedback. Do you prefer the snake knot? Do you like the diamond knot idea of having that? Do the cobra knot? Do you like the bracelets? Which ones do you prefer more? The helix pattern or the flat pattern for the keychains? Right there, since I've got both the same color, that gives you a better idea. What do you think? What do you like better? And of course, like I said, I've got all kinds of other stuff that I do and I'm working on for somebody. Different beads, stands, and whatnot that they wanted. So, I'm all kinds of stuff, and more stuff. I'd like some feedback and some thoughts. Like I said, if there's anything you think I should be maybe adding in, or what might be a good idea, as long as it's not killing me time wise or money wise to make, I don't mind. I mean, literally, I just bought 2,000 more. Where is it? I don't have them. They're out in the living room, but I just bought 2,000 more key rings because I was getting extremely low. Actually, let me. Yeah. That's how many key rings, other than the ones that I have on. I use these carabiners for everything. I load them up on the here to have them handy, because you see how big this bag is, and this was 1,000. I had bought 1,000. This time I bought 2,000, so I'd be set for a while, because price-wise it was almost half the price to buy 2,000 than it was the 1,000. So I'm like, if I'm only paying a few dollars more, roughly, to get twice the amount, that's the way I'm going. But it's one of those things. These will be probably gone when I go to make these, and I'll probably actually be hitting my new batch that I just got in. But that was like 40 some, almost $50 just for those 2,000. So, yes, this costs money, people. Like I said, I like doing it and giving it to the community, so that way they get some cool stuff to maybe use. But it would be nice if you're looking to do something, reach out to me. I'll make you whatever you want, if within reason, and I try to give really good pricing on what I do give. Of course, with the cost of shipping going up the way it is, I got to take that into consideration too. And shipping is not cheap at this stage of the game. But I also have those pilars, CRKT pilars that Mr. Jimmy did the scales on, and I bought the knives to put the new cool copper scales on to sell. I've got a lot of those. I've got more coming in for me to swap out with the new scales that he sent me. Yes, I've got lots of stuff that I need to do. I sometimes feel like I never stop, and then other days I feel like I don't get anything done. But anyway, give me some thoughts. Do you like these? Because these are something that I could do more of and include more into the packages, if that's something that you think you guys would like. I mean, like I said, occasionally I'll throw some of these in, but I usually stick more to this size because I know a lot of people will use them as lanyards. And like I said, it's my preference. Everybody's entitled to what they like. I mean, if you don't prefer the snake knot and prefer something else, I can understand that. I mean, that's what makes the world go round. It's like knives. Gosh forbid. Some of you may absolutely love this knife, the auxiliary manufacturing coffin, and others of you will look at it and say, that's ugly as sin. Why in the world would anybody want to buy that? But, it's what it is. I mean, same for the Thunderhead concept. Tempest Knives designed Thunderhead. I absolutely love this knife. It's a gorgeous knife. It's a bigger knife, but I love it. Doesn't mean that you're going to like it. But, that's what makes the world go round. Differences. Differences, people. We like differences. Anyway. And it's like, I have made, though I've made them for people before, but I don't really make them as a thing. And I won't probably now, unless somebody specifically asks me to, crosses. Faithful EDC does an awesome job, and he does a lot of paracord items. He's great. And his thing is the crosses, and so I feel like that's kind of like I don't want to step on his toes by making them, but I have made them, and I've sold a few over the years per se, and it's something that I do make also. But like I said, it's not something I do strictly. I and in this community I probably should make some, but like I said, he does it, and I that's kind of his thing, and I don't want to step on his toes with making anything like that. Whether it is stepping on his toes or not stepping on his toes, I don't know, but that's the way I feel about it. So I try not to cross over onto stuff that is somebody's specific item that they like to do. But anyway, you guys give me some feedback. I would greatly appreciate it. And let me know what you think. And if there's, like I said, please, if there's anything you think I should add to the collection, do you think I should do more solid colors? You know, that's something that I don't really do now that I think about it. I always do patterns. Oh, my paracord. I do have solid colors. I honestly don't normally stick to solid colors because I think the pattern ones with different color mixes works better. Gives you more. If you got a knife that says a red handle with black hardware, doing the red with the black mixed in, to me that works. You know, that just is a little different. But it's whatever. It's you know how I am. You guys have a wonderful day. Many hugs, many kisses, much love. Your friend Kelly. Bye bye.